So today I have an excellent plan. While listening to the grinder across the street to help soothe me during my breakfast, I'm going to try and do this. So today I'm here. I'm going to catch a motorbike taxi to the bus stop. Take the bus to number 12, Hell's Gate, Hell's Pass, then walk to number 8, then take a truck from number 8 to the train station, and then take a train all the way back across the bridge to end up back where I am at Kanchanaburi, then take a motorbike taxi from the train station back to my room. So that's the plan. Sounds pretty straightforward. We'll see how it works. I'm going to continue drinking my orange juice while listening to the grinder. So I made it on the bus here okay, but it was supposed to be an hour's trip and it was an hour and 45 minutes. I was also told once you just get off the bus, there's lots of tourists and lots of signs and there's a shop and you walk 300 metres and you're there. Well, they've just dropped me off in the middle of nowhere. I asked the guy where it was and he pointed down this track. And he said it's 1 kilometre and you walk. Well, I don't really want to walk because it's boiling hot, and as I've said a whole bunch of times before, I'm scared of the dogs. So I'm going to see if I can wave down a car or a bike or something if I see one. I hope I see one. See if they can drive me there, because the 1 kilometre might be 5 kilometres, I don't know. Also on the train, on the bus, it was pretty full and there wasn't many spots, so not many seats. And at one stage, this beautiful girl got on, and I thought, oh, holy crap, she's got nowhere to sit except next to me. Oh, that could have been my lift. Damn it. Anyway, I thought to myself, oh, she's going to sit next to me, so I kind of moved my water bottle and my hat and waved to her and said there's a seat here, because there wasn't many seats. And the moment I moved my hat, an old lady jumped into the seat that was sitting, obviously was standing behind me. Now I don't mind so much about that, except when I looked at her and said hello, she smiled and looked like she'd been eating red crayons. She had red crayons all through her teeth and on her face and on her chin, and I thought, holy cow. Like, I don't really mind if you're gonna eat crayons, but when you're finished, at least wipe your face, wipe your chin. Anyway, I'll keep walking down this track. It's bloody... I don't know where it goes. Hopefully I can get a ride. So I made it here okay, but I'm not really sure how I'm going to get back. It's definitely not as straightforward as the travel shop told me it was going to be. When you get here, there's a boardwalk at the start and they give you this audio set on my head and a little thing here, and you press the button when you get to the right number on your map. So it's pretty good. It's supposed to be 500 metres there, 500 metres back, so it's 1 kilometre for the short walk. But yeah, so that's it. We'll walk down and see what it's like. So you can see all around here bamboo trees everywhere, and apparently these had hundreds of uses, and the prisoners and the slaves used them for all sorts of things like walking sticks and beds and houses and stretchers, and nearly everything was made out of bamboo apparently. But the problem was, so the audio says, is when they cut through it, the middle of the bamboo's hollow, and many times it would be full of spiders and full of wasps and all sorts of things. So they'd cut into it and these creatures would come flying out and they'd sting them and bite them and make them sick and then give them infections. So there's bloody, you know, as many uses as this bamboo trees had, they were sinister in their own way as well. Every section of this cutting, or every piece of it, was cut out by hand using pick and shovel and handmade drills. So it's amazing, and they were in such a rush to get it finished that they had rotating 24-hour shifts, and the place got its name Hellfire Pass because of how it looked apparently at night, with all the fires going and the lanterns and the people sweating and digging 24 hours a day through the night in the heat and the torture and the unpleasantness of it all. Apparently it looked to a lot of men just like they imagined hell would be, so they named the place Hellfire Pass for that reason. Right near the end of completion for the cutting of the pass, they brought in compressor drills, and there's a broken drill bit just here that you can see, just here, that shows where one of the drills had been drilled in and then got stuck and broken off. So 99% of it apparently was all by hand and pick and shovel, and then right near the end, to try and speed things up a little bit, they brought in some compressor drills. So this section I'm walking now is the hard part back to the car park, and it's the actual track that all the workers and the prisoners had to use every morning, or at the start of every shift and at the end of every shift. This is the way they walked to their camp and back. So it's certainly not flat, and you can see it goes up and up and up and up, and there wouldn't have been stairs. And keep in mind too, they've been working for 12 hours and most of them are sick. They've had not enough food, not enough water, they've got malaria or dengue fever, or or anything else they could have, because it certainly wasn't good conditions. But this is their track, down and back, to get to the cutting. It also says, my audio headset, that the way the doctors or the guards evaluated whether or not the prisoners could work for the day was every morning they'd have to do a crap on the ground in front of the guards and the doctors, and the guards would check the worker's stool, and apparently if it was more than 50% blood, they could stay home or in the camp for the day, but if it was less than 50% blood, they were good enough to work. So, doesn't sound real good to me. So I've made it from Hellfire Pass to the Nam Tok train station, and I was very lucky because the tour guide that was giving me this information said I just walked from Hellfire Pass back to the road, and then it's only 500 metres from the road, a shortcut to the train station. And I happened to get a man who was asleep in his car waiting for a tour group. He'd dropped people off and they'd gone for a walk and they were coming back. And I woke him up and I said, "Can you take me to the train station?" And he said he can't because he's waiting for the people to come back. And I said, "Well, can you take me and then come back before they get here?" And he said, "Well, he'll do it for 300 baht." And look, I would have paid 1,000 because I was stuck there. There was no way of me getting out of there unless I convinced someone to give me a ride. So I said to him, 300 baht, no worries. So he brought me in his car, and I tell you what, it was 15 or 20 minutes drive. There's no way the information that I was given was anywhere near correct. So I'm very lucky to have got to the train station. It might have cost me 300 baht, which is, it's not much. It might be like 15 bucks or something like that. But I'm happy to pay that because I was stuck there completely. So if you're going to go to Hellfire Pass, make sure you organise how you're going to get there and how you're going to get back, because if you just get dropped off like I did, very good chance you'll be stuck there. But I've got to wait now an hour and a half now for this train to go back to town, back to Kanchanaburi, I forget what it's called now. But I'm okay to wait here an hour and a half because I'd rather wait here and know a train's coming than be stuck out the road and not know how I'm going to get back. But we'll wait for the train and then jump on that, and then it's about a 60-kilometre ride back into town. So I made it onto the train, and it's we'll leave in about 15 minutes I think, and it's a 2-hour trip back to town. So it should be pretty good. It's picked up, it's very windy outside now and the sky is very black, so I think it's going to pour rain. And the train, I don't know if the windows go up in the train, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, no, it's pretty good. This is still part of the Burma Railway, so, or the Death Railway. So from where I was earlier on at Hell's Pass, all the way through here and all the way back into town, it's the same line. So this is all built by the slaves and by the prisoners of war, and I think we go around a big cliff on a bridge. That'll be pretty interesting, and then back across the river, the bridge we were at yesterday, the bridge over the River Kwai, and then back into town, and then it's a motorbike taxi from there back to my motel. there you have it. That's the train from Hellfire Pass, or just near Hellfire Pass, to Kanchanaburi. I think that was excellent. It took 2 hours and the scenery was fantastic. So I highly recommend, if you're in the area and you feel like doing that, I can tell you from my experience, I think it was excellent. So now it's just a motorbike taxi back to my room. It's about 5 minutes and I'm done for the day. So tomorrow I think I'll head off and take a look at the cemetery. See you then.